Questions to the Minister for the Economy. We're now moving on to questions to the Assembly Commission, and I call David Honeyford.
Come on.
Thank you. So I thank the member for his question. The Assembly Commission assessed the feasibility of the free provision for sanitary products on a pilot basis in February 2020. A range of sanitary products were made available for free in facilities accessible to the public and all building users from March 2020. To date, sanitary products remain available for free in the 4 facilities accessible to the public and all building users within Parliament buildings.
David Honeyford for supplementary.
Thank you, Principal Deputy Speaker. And just the further on to that, is there any plans to extend this further? Are you happy with what the areas are that are covered?
Sinead Ennis.
So there are currently no plans to extend the provision of free sanitary products within Parliament buildings. While the current provision is focused on those locations accessible by the public, these facilities are accessible to all building users.
Okay, I call Maurice Bradley.
Thank you, Principal Deputy Speaker. Question 2.
Can I ask Trevor Clark to respond on behalf of the Commission?
Can I thank the member for his question? The Assembly Commission recognises the importance of having a strong framework in place to support a healthy and resilient workforce. To support the delivery and quality of services to staff, we have a corporate health and wellbeing framework. This framework seeks to achieve positive physical, psychological and social health and wellbeing outcomes for staff via a focus of prevention, intervention and in the promotion of support. We have a health and wellbeing group comprising of staff from across the Assembly Commission and also a network of mental health first aiders and harassment contact officers who are trained to offer confidential guidance and support to staff dealing with issues relating to mental health and general work-related concerns. We have also a proactive organisation development and learning team who regularly promote activities to assist staff with managing their health and wellbeing, including courses on mental health awareness for staff and their line managers. In addition, we have several virtual learning events related to health and wellbeing topics as part of our interparliamentary networks with Scotland, Wales and Ireland. In terms of the external support, the Assembly Commission has an employee assistance programme provided by Inspire Workplace Services. Staff can avail of a number of services, including the provision of 24/7 counselling, online training and access to a range of electronic resources through the Inspire Support Hub. The Assembly Commission staff can also avail of confidential support and advice provided by the NICS Welfare Support Service.
Thank you. Maurice Bradley for supplementary.
Thank you, Principal Deputy Speaker, and thank the member for his answer. Would the member agree with me that not only at times are politicians under pressure and under stress in here, but the staff as well? So how can staff access mental health support?
Trevor.
I think the member raised a very important question. It's very topical given what we've seen in the media recently, in particular abuse from members, and indeed our constituency workers also suffer the same. So in response to that, the Inspire Work Services are an independent organisation specialising in a range of welfare services across the public sector. These services available include independent confidential counselling service, which includes a 24-hour, 365-day-a-year advice helpline and up to 6 face-to-face counselling sessions per person. It also involves telephone counselling service, mediation and conflict coaching, therapeutic support and wellbeing absence management support and coaching. So I think hopefully the member will agree that the Commission has provided a wide range of options for members.
Thank you, Trevor. I call Cara Hunter for supplementary.
Thank you. Thank you to the member for his answer so far. I'm aware in Westminster there's a budget given to members to avail of mental health treatment. Do you think this is something the Assembly Commission might explore in the future?
Trevor Clark.
Well, I suppose given now, and I welcome the question from the member, and as I said previously, given that it is very topical in terms of what we have seen recently, it's not something specifically that I've considered at the moment, but hopefully the member would agree in terms of what's provided for is more probably robust than what many maybe believed. It maybe needs better indication for members where to get that, because it probably has. I know once I read the briefing folder today, some of this is probably new to me because I haven't went looking for it. So there's maybe a piece of work that the Commission could look at, actually promoting that themselves and bringing that more visible to the members and their staff.
I call Jerry Carroll.
Please.
can I ask Neil McAllister to respond on behalf of the Assembly Commission?
And with your permission, Madam Principal Deputy Speaker, I will group questions 3 and 8. And I thank the members for both of their questions. The Commission requires its support services contractor to provide comprehensive cleaning services within Parliament buildings, which ensure that the accommodation is maintained at an excellent standard. The use of a single cobot vacuum and scrubber dryer was introduced in 2023 to support the Aramark's team on site within the context of budgetary constraints set out by the Assembly Commission and the reduction in footfall in office buildings due to the introduction of working from home policies. The cobot works alongside a member of Aramark's team. In terms of consultation, Aramark manage the implementation of their contract within Parliament buildings and retain all responsibilities for employing their staff. And as such, the staff sit outside of the Joint Assembly Commission Management Trade Union side negotiating body. Despite this, Aramark carried out a consultation exercise with staff in 2023 in advance of changes due to the automation, and the consultation exercise highlighted that the changes required were a minimal reduction of hours on a voluntary basis or by redeployment of staff within the contract's other services provided at Parliament buildings. The cleaning contract has performed well, providing Parliament building users with a quality service and high levels of hygiene and health and safety. This is recognised by the cleaning industry at the UK Ireland Kimberly Clark Professional Golden Service Award 2024 when Parliament buildings won Best Cleaned Premises with office areas between 10,000 and 30,000 metres squared.
Thank you. I call Jerry Carroll for supplementary.
Thank you. Thank the member for the answer. The member knows there's been concerns raised about job losses generally with the role of this form of cleaning. What guarantees have been sought by the Commission to ensure Aramark don't commit any job losses? And I know cleaners in this building have lost hours. If there's further hours cut in the future, will they be financially compensated for the hours lost and cut?
I thank the member for his question. You'll appreciate that I can't answer the hypothetical question at the end. However, what I will say with regards to the job losses and insurances that we were given at the Assembly Commission, some of which was before my time on the Commission, was that the change in hours of the contracts were on a voluntary basis or redeployment within the service. However, this is an issue that we are keeping on our table for an ongoing basis so that we can actually see what is taking place, notwithstanding the relationship that we do have with the negotiating body, but it is something that as a member of the Assembly Commission that we will want to keep on top of. Where we have got to now is that it has been done on a voluntary basis and redeployment within the service, but it is something that we will keep a close eye on.
Call Mark Durkin.
Concordia, and thanks to the member for her answer thus far. To start, I suppose, by commending our cleaning staff in these buildings. They do a fantastic job, and they usually do it with a smile, despite the threat that this poses to them. Is the member aware of any other areas where automation is being explored throughout the Parliament buildings?
Neil McAllister to respond.
I thank the member for his question, and I'm not sure if the member actually is talking about automation services outside of the cleaning contract. You are. Well, we don't have any plan to introduce it any further, so therefore we don't have any services that sit outside the current cleaning services, and no further plans to do the same.
Okay, I call Stephen Dunn.
Question 4, Principal Deputy Speaker.
And can I ask Andy Allen to respond on behalf of the Assembly Commission?
With your permission, Madam Principal Deputy Speaker, I will group questions 4, 10 and 11. I thank the members for their questions. The Assembly Commission is pleased to have reached a full and final confidential settlement in relation to the legal proceedings initiated following the previous work project. Following this agreement, all legal proceedings have now concluded and the focus is on carrying out the remedial repairs. Work to repair the roof will be carried out in 2 distinct phases. Phase 1 will address the issues at the rear of the building. Officials are currently considering whether 3 internal courtyards should be included in this phase or whether all of the courtyards works should be completed as part of Phase 2, which will encompass the remainder of the repairs. Phase 1 is planned to be carried out during summer recess by Properties Division. The remainder of the works will be carried out by the Construction Division and will address all of the areas of water ingress. Construction Division formally agreed to carry out the repairs in December 2024, and due to the scale of the project, it is anticipated that this work will commence in early 2026.
I call Stephen Dunn for supplementary.
Principal Deputy Speaker, and thank the member for the answer. Are you confident that the ongoing issues will be resolved once and for all, particularly in regards to the leaking roof, which has been an issue for quite a number of years, and hopefully that buckets will not be needed on the 3rd floor as they have been for many years to deal with the leaks, physical leaks?
Andy Allen, please.
As I mentioned in the original answer, Phase 1 of the works will be carried out during the summer recess. The remainder of the repairs will commence following award of a contract by Construction Division in early 2026. The timescales for the remainder of the repairs is in keeping for a project of this scale.
I call Alan Robinson for a supplementary.
Thank
for
you, Principal Deputy Speaker, and I thank the member for his response. Can he indicate, is there any further works that are required to the building?
Andy Allen for a response.
As it highlighted in the original answer and the follow-up, there are 2 distinct phases, and they will encompass all of the works that are required to be taken forward.
Well, can I ask Patsy McClone?
And I thank the member for his comprehensive response. Does the member agree, and I accept the fault is certainly not his, that it has gone on that long, the duration of this issue, that it's become quite an embarrassment?
The Assembly Commission had initially hoped to reach a settlement with the original contractors to repair the roof while avoiding legal proceedings. Unfortunately, the commencement of legal proceedings was unavoidable, and the Assembly Commission is pleased to have reached a full and final settlement in this regard. While it is disappointing that more progress has not been made, Assembly officials have been working closely with staff from the Central Procurement Division to ensure that the roof repairs are conducted with the utmost care and attention. This ensures that the work is carried out in full compliance with the building's Grade A listing status, with all necessary approval secured before work commences.
Timothy Gasson for supplementary.
Thank you very much, Principal Deputy Speaker. And I note the member used the term confidential settlement. Will we not ever understand or get to the truth of the detail how much of this the public purse is paying and how much of this is being paid by the contractor who caused the damage to the roof of this building?
Andy Allen for a response.
I thank the member for his question. As I've previously emphasised, the settlement agreement is full and final and is confidential. It is subject to legal privilege.
I call Mr. Owen Tennyson.
Question 5, Principal Deputy Speaker.
And can I ask Colin McGrath on behalf of the Assembly Commission to respond, please?
With your permission, Madam Principal Deputy Speaker, I'll group questions 5, 12 and 15 together, and I thank the members for their questions. The Assembly Commission has engaged with the Department of Finance to carry out a multifaceted listed building survey for Parliament buildings, which will include a conservation management plan and a disability access audit. The audit commenced on Wednesday the 26th of March, with 3 days spent surveying the building. It is anticipated that an initial report will be received by May. Any recommendations arising from the report will then be considered.
Owen Tennyson for supplementary.
Thank you, Principal Deputy Speaker. Can the member elaborate on any initial findings from the audit?
Colin McGrath for a response.
I thank the member for his question. Yes, these initial findings will be presented following the audit, so we should hopefully have them very soon. And the audit will identify any areas in which improvements can be made in order to enhance accessibility for people with disabilities.
Diana Armstrong for supplementary.
Principal Deputy Speaker, could I ask the member, is the same consideration given to visitors with limited vision? Thank you.
Colin McGrath for a response.
I thank the member for a question. I don't have the very specific information on that, and we can come back to the member, but I would suspect that it is likewise included under the audit. So I would expect it to be, but I'm sure we can write back to give you clarity on that.
Call Andrew McMurray for a supplementary.
Thank you, Principal Deputy Speaker. Is there a timeline for completion of these works?
Colin McGrath for a response.
I thank the member. The Disability Access Audit should be completed and a report with the initial findings presented in May 2025. So it's expected that we'll get the report. However, we won't know until we get the report what the actual works are required in it. So hopefully we'll have an update for members at that stage.
Call Diane Dodds.
Question number 6.
Can I ask Sinead Annis on behalf of the Assembly Commission to respond?
Thank you, Pre-Laskin Court, and I thank the member for her question. As was the case for the 80th anniversary of D-Day last year, it will be part of the Speaker's representational responsibilities to determine the arrangements for the Assembly to mark the 80th anniversary of the end of the Second World War at Parliament Buildings. I understand that the Speaker's office is currently developing plans for an event to mark that occasion. A statement released by the British Government on the 4th of March 2025 indicated the intention for landmark buildings to be lit on the evening of the 6th of May as part of the wider coordinated plans to mark the anniversary of VE Day. While the Assembly Commission has not received an application to light Parliament buildings under the special lighting policy to mark the 80th anniversary of VE Day, it would be usual for the Assembly Commission to join wider initiatives. Officials are currently seeking more detail from the British Government's plans in relation to lighting buildings for the anniversary, and the Assembly Commission will then receive an update at its next meeting in April and have the opportunity to consider lighting the building to coincide with the anniversary alongside the arrangements made by the Speaker.
Diane Dodds for supplementary.
Can I thank the member on behalf of the Commission for the answer? It is good to know that we are making plans to mark the 80th anniversary of VE Day. I just went into the Senate chamber before I came over here and read the inscription in the Senate chamber of gratitude, because the chamber was used as an operations room by the Royal Air Force during the Second World War. Does the member have any sense of when there will be a public announcement about these commemorations, because they are very dear?
Sinead Annis to respond.
Yes, I thank the member for her question. So, the Assembly Commission's special lighting policy, it seeks obviously to balance the lighting of Parliament buildings, obviously in a balanced way. And clearly VE Day is an important anniversary that will be recognised across Europe. So as I've indicated, the Speaker is making arrangements for the anniversary to be marked at Parliament buildings, regardless of the position in relation to the lighting of the building. And however, the Assembly Commission will consider the lighting of the building in the context of wider plans at its next meeting.
Can I call William Irwin? Can I ask Trevor Clark to respond on behalf of the Assembly Commission?
Can I thank the member for his question? A project is currently underway with the aim of creating a new website for the Assembly, which will be a trusted authority on all Assembly business and be a modern online tool where people can come to learn and engage. This redesign will support the Assembly Commission's corporate objectives to make the work of the Assembly more accessible and to communicate the impact of the Assembly's work. A discovery phase aimed at gaining user views on the present site was completed in 2024 to inform future requirements and functionality. A digital agency has currently been procured to design and deliver a new public-facing Assembly website, supply replacement content, management system and implement an effective modern service facilities. It is anticipated that the formal tender publication will be in place within weeks, with the work anticipated to start in July 25, and is expected the project will last at least 18 to 24 months. A parallel enabling project commenced in October 24 to modernise the Assembly's AIMS platform, which will make a step change in the way IT applications and services are delivered. This will closely be linked to enabling many Assembly businesses related functions on the new website.
Thank you, Trevor. Can I call William Irwin for a supplementary?
And I thank the member for his response. Would the member agree with me that it is important that the Assembly website should be as accessible as possible, especially to elderly people?
Trevor Clark for response.
Of course, yes, I would agree with the member, and I suppose that's why they went out for a consultation in terms of the usability of the current system, and I think there's recognition that work needed to be done, hence this project has been brought forward for that very reason.
I call Joanne Bunting.
Thank you, Principal Deputy Speaker. Question 9, please.
Can I ask Nuala McAllister to respond on behalf of the Assembly Commission, please?
I thank the member for her question. The Assembly Commission recognises that the rapid growth of artificial intelligence is a development that cannot be ignored by any modern organisation for the potential it might provide for innovation. The Assembly Commission has established a working group to consider potential opportunities that AI may offer the Assembly and the Assembly Commission. This AI working group first met on Friday the 22nd of November 2024, and the group is being led by the Research and Information Service and includes staff from across a wide range of business areas within the Assembly Commission. The AI working group is established in terms of reference and intends to develop guidance on the use of AI. To assist the working group, RAISE compiled a research paper entitled Artificial Intelligence, Guidance in Parliament, Good Practice and Current Examples that provided an overview of good practice, recommendations for and examples of artificial intelligence guidance for parliaments. The AI working group intends to establish a baseline of AI use within the Assembly, which will help inform the development of the guidance and to raise awareness. The AI working group will agree terms of reference at its next meeting in April 2025, and the group will consider AI projects that align with organisational goals and values. In addition, the group will meet quarterly to monitor emerging trends, technologies and regulations in the AI landscape.
Call Joanne Bunting for supplementary.
Thank you, Madam Principal Deputy Speaker, and I thank the member for her comprehensive answer on this. At this stage, does the working group or the Commission envisage any potential savings that could be made as a result of AI, and including around translation services?
Neil McCosker for a response.
Well, not particularly with regard to actually savings, financial savings that can be made, if I assume that that's what you're referring to. However, within the terms of reference that the new working group will establish, I don't doubt that that could be an element of it. However, it's not something that we have concrete plans to do within the Assembly Commission, but I can get back to the member when the terms of reference are finalised at the next working group in April, and the Assembly Commission will get those at its following meeting thereafter in May or June.
So questions 10, 11 and 12 have already been asked and answered. I call Mr Brian Kingston.
Question number 13.
Can I ask Andy Allen to respond on behalf of the Assembly Commission, please?
I thank the member for his question. The last review of security at Parliament buildings was carried out in 2022 by the PSNI. This followed earlier reviews carried out in 2011 and 2015. PSNI has agreed to carry out another security review, which they hope to commence this month.
Brian Kingston for supplementary.
Thank you, and thank the member for his answer, and that there will be a further review this month. Can I ask, has there been any incidents over the past year which were deemed to be a serious breach of security?
Andy Allen to respond.
I thank the member for his follow-up question. Obviously, the Assembly Commission take very seriously security, and there are measures put in place to mitigate against those. I don't have any detail as to any serious incidents that have taken place. Therefore, I will have to come back to the member on that.
Thank you. I call Nick Matheson.
Principal Deputy Speaker, question 14.
Can I ask Colin McGrath to respond on behalf of the Assembly Commission?
Yes, thank you to the member for his question. And as members will be aware, the Assembly Commission published the Assembly Members' Office and Staffing Costs and Allowances Determination Northern Ireland 2025, referred to as the 2025 determination, on the 7th of February this year. The 2025 determination sought to extend the provisions that already existed. Members may continue to recover the costs which are wholly and necessarily attributable to a disability that a member has. Members may also continue to recover the costs incurred in making reasonable adjustments to the constituency office for persons with a disability, where those costs are not covered under the terms of the lease. This may be for a disabled member of staff or to facilitate access for disabled members of the public. The nature of the disability is not defined. In the first instance, members should engage with their landlord to ensure that the terms of the lease are adhered to in this regard. Members are considered to be service providers for the purposes of the Disability Discrimination Act DDA 1995. This legislation makes it unlawful to discriminate against disabled persons in connection with the provision of goods, facilities and services. The provisions of the 2025 determination allow members to recover those costs incurred but not covered by the lease to meet the statutory responsibilities arising from the DDA regarding reasonable adjustments. This ensures that persons with a disability are not placed at a particular disadvantage when they are either employed by the member or visit the office. Guidance in all areas of financial support is available in the administrative guide which accompanies the 2025 determination or on the Finance Office's page on the members' portal.
Thank you. I call Nick Matheson for supplementary.
Thank the member for his answer. Can the member provide any details on any consultation that was undertaken with disability groups in drafting the new determination?
Colin McGrath to respond.
Yes, indeed. The Assembly Commission takes these matters seriously and engages with disability groups as part of its wider work. But issues relating to the provision of constituency services by a member are a matter for each individual member and not the Assembly Commission. Properties leased as constituency offices should be fit for purpose. In considering leases, members should consider the needs of disabled individuals proactively and where requirements should be contemplated in advance. Therefore, members should ensure the suitability of a property in terms of meeting statutory obligations of the disability access, etc. This requirement has been built into the new 2025 determination for all new leases going forward. And recognising that the nature of reasonable adjustments will vary from member to member and from office to office, the provisions of the 2025 determination for the recovery of reasonable adjustments and disability costs are not restrictively prescriptive.
Thank you. Question 15 was answered when it was grouped with questions 5 and 12, so that ends question time to the Assembly Commission. Could members take their ease? Oh, yeah, point of order. Go ahead.
Yesterday during Communities Question Time, I wasn't on my seat whenever my question was there and when I was called, so Pre-Vlas Cam Collier, can I put in record my apologies to the Assembly and the Speaker's office for this?
I think I heard tuts around the House, particularly from those who have been guilty of this before, may I add. Yes, your apologies are noted. Members take their ease.